Good morning, guys. In last session, we discussed about path params and query params. Okay. So, what is the path param and query param? Path params and query parameters are used to send the data to the server in the URL. So, by using both, we are going to send the data to the server in the URL. Okay. Now, what is response body? Yesterday we discussed about response
Yes,
body.
sir.
Right? What is
The
that?
data that we
Goes
send in
on to
HTTP.
return a logical
If we want to send the response directly to the same
logical
page,
view name.
Okay. When controller returns a string value, when controller method returns string value, by default, dispatcher servlet thinks it has logical view name. It has logical view name. Sometimes we need to return raw response from the controller method. Okay, I will give you an email ID. I want to understand my email ID is unique or duplicate. I want to understand, just I want a raw response. To return raw response from the controller methods, we will use response body annotation. To return raw response from controller methods, we will use at response body annotation. To return raw response from controller methods, we will use response body annotation. Excellent. Yesterday I have given the use case also when controller will return the raw response, when the controller will return the logical view name. Okay, so when the end user performs some operation, if we want to display a web page, then we will return logical view name from the controller method. Suppose already user is landed on the web page, user is performing some operation, we just need to return some response value directly without web page, then we will go for response body annotation. Good. Now, today I want to develop one web application with a form. I want to develop a web application with a form. Simply, I want to develop one HTML form, guys. Not even, I'm not using any form tag library, just one simple form I want to develop. So look at this. My requirement is very simple. I want to take one user ID and I want to take username, user ID, username, email, or else user ID, username, and phone number. Anything is fine. 3 fields I want to develop: user ID, username, phone number. So for these 3, I'm giving one text field. I'm giving one text field, phone number. And here we will have one submit button. Here we will have one submit button. Good. This is my button and this is my form. When I click on my submit button, it has to display one message saying that user record saved. User record saved. User record saved successfully. Add a user. Add one more user. Add a new user. Add a new user. This one I want as a hyperlink. This one I want as a hyperlink. This is the application that I need to create by using Spring Boot now. This is the application that I need to create by using Spring Boot. So this one, I will give it as index.jsp. The first page is going to be index.jsp. Second page is success.jsp. Second page is success.jsp. 2 web pages I need to create. One web page contains a form. One web page contains a JSP form. Another web page contains a success message with a hyperlink. So can we develop this application now?
Yes, sir.
We develop this application now. Right. I want to develop this application now. Okay. Now, so what are the steps that we need to follow? What are the steps that we need to follow? Steps to develop application with form. Steps to develop application with form. As usual, we need to create Spring Boot web application. Create Spring Boot web application with below dependencies. So what are the dependencies that we are going to take?
Spring OS MVC starter.
Starter OS.
Spring Boot starter web, Spring Boot starter web, Tomcat embed Jasper, Tomcat embed Jasper. Then I'm going to write
Jasper.
dev tools.
Project Lombok.
Project Lombok. If you want, we can take the project Lombok.
JSTL, sir.
Currently, JSTL is not required because we are not dealing with any loops. Okay. Now, boot starter web dependency, Tomcat embed Jasper, DevTools, project Lombok. Next one, create controller with required methods. Create controller with required methods. Controller with required methods. Create presentation files. Create view files. Next one, configure properties in application.properties file. Run the application and test it. Run the application and test it. Create boot web application with below dependencies. One is starter web, we need to select. Tomcat embed Jasper, we need to select. DevTools, we need to select. Lombok also we need to select. So create controller with required methods. Now, for this application, we need two methods. One method is used to load the form. Another method is used to handle form submission. So user needs to land on the form. For that, one method is required. User will fill the form data, then submit button. So to handle that submit button, we need one more method. Then we need to create the view files and we'll configure the properties in application.properties file. Run the application and test it. Run the application and test it. Let's start. To create a project, file, new, Spring starter project. Spring starter project. Spring Boot Web MVC form app. Form app. Click on next. Guys, make sure you are selecting the packaging type as WAR. Yeah, Lombok dependency, web dependency, DevTools dependency. Anything else that we need? Embed Jasper we need to add manually. Next and finish. The project is getting created. It is downloading the dependencies to create the project. Yes, please mute your mics. Yeah, from previous project, I'm taking Tomcat embed Jasper. Pet Jasper from previous project. Add that in the current project pom.xml. Okay, right. So project creation got completed and we have added required dependencies also for our project. Then we need to create a controller to handle the request. We need to create a controller to handle the request now. Let me create one controller. User controller. This will be inside a package called com.ashokit.controller. Yeah. To represent this method as a controller, we need to use a annotation at the class level, that is at controller annotation. At controller annotation we are using for that. We need two methods, public string load user form, that is one method, which is going to return just index page, and I have another method, public string handle submit button. Handle submit button, it has to return success. Now, can I say index and success are the, can I say index and success are the logical view names?
Yes, sir.
We can say index and success are the logical view names. Now, here I'm binding this method to get request at the rate get mapping at the rate get mapping at the rate get mapping slash load form, which is used to load the index page. Whenever I'm loading the form, I don't want to send any data also, just one empty form should be created. Empty form should be loaded. For that, I'm not sending any data. Public string load user form, which is returning index and it is having load form. Next one, I have a method public string handle submit button. Here we need to capture form data. We need to capture the form data and we need to display success message. Okay. In order to capture the form data, generally in the servlets, we will take HTTP servlet request, request comma, and I'm taking modal object. The modal object is used to send the data. Modal object is used to send the data from controller to UI. Modal object is used to send the data from controller to UI. For time being, I am binding this method also for get mapping. For time being, I'm binding this method also for get mapping. I'm giving save user. I'm giving save user. So here I need to capture the form data. Request dot get parameter of user ID, which is going to give in the string format. Next one, string user name is equal to request dot get parameter of uname. Email, user email. String email is equal to request dot get parameter of user email. Request dot get parameter of user email. So three values we captured. Now let me print these values on the console for time being. System.out.println user ID, that is UID. System.out.println of username. System.out.println of username, that is uname. Next one, system.out.println of email. Email, that is email value. Okay. Once it is done, I want to send the message to the user. So to send the message, I will add modal dot add attribute of message value user saved successfully. User saved successfully. User saved successfully. That's it. Now here I have two methods in my controller. I have two methods in my controller. First method is used to load the form. First method is used to load the form, and second method is available. Second method is available, handle submit button, which is taking servlet request object as a first parameter, which is used to capture the form data. Here I'm capturing the form data by using request get parameter. It is a legacy approach, and I will tell you why it is not recommended also. Next one, we are taking model object. Already we discussed model is used to send the data from controller to UI in the form of key value pair. So I captured 3 fields from the form and I'm printing that on the console for understanding whether form data is coming or not. After that, I'm displaying a success. I'm adding a success message to model object. It is returning logical file name. Now go to index page and let's create views. Inside the web app, we are writing views, new, other JSP, other JSP file. Here we are giving it as index.jsp, next and finish. Next and finish. Okay. So here user details, let me write it as user details. Now let me develop one form, normal HTML type form we are developing, form colon action. Okay. Now I'm creating one table to display the fields in the proper format. In the table we are having tr. Inside the tr we are having tds. Inside the tr we are having tds. Okay. Now so I need 4 rows in my form. Okay. ID 1 row, name 1 row, phone number 1 row. Okay, instead of email I have to take phone number. It's not email, guys, it's user phone number, user phone. User phone number. Go to index.jsp. For name 1 row, for email 1 row, for phone number 1 row, for button 1 row. So total we are taking 4 rows here. First one is TD, that is user ID. It is a text field. So how to display text field? Input type is equal to text, name is equal to UID. Name is equal to UID. This is user ID field. Next one is username. Here also we are going to write input type is equal to text, name is equal to uname. Name is equal to uname. This one is phone number. Input type is equal to text. Input type is equal to text. Name is equal to phone number. Name is equal to phone number. First TD I'm not giving anything. Here I will give you a button. Input type is equal to submit. Value is equal to save user. Input type is equal to submit. Value is equal to save user. Now action. Whenever this form is submitted, which action should be called? Whenever we submit this form, which action should be called? Already I have a method to handle a submit button. That method is binded to this URL pattern. So I will take this URL. I will add that for action attribute. I will add that for action attribute. So whenever this button is clicked, request will come to this form, this method. This method will capture the form data and will return success. So I need one more view with a name called success.jsp. I need one more view with a name called success.jsp. New other JSP file. Click on next. We will create it success.jsp. Next and finish. I want to access that message. So how to access that message? By using $of message. Along with this, I want a hyperlink also. href load form. Add new user. After displaying a success message, if I want to add one more user, I should go back to the previous page. To go back to the previous page, I'm adding a hyperlink. Whenever that hyperlink is clicked, this action should be called, that is load form. This method will call, it will return index page. In the index page, the form will be displayed. Okay, so this is index page. Look at this guys once. Form action is equal to save user, and we are having a table. Good. Yeah. Now let us configure the properties in the YML properties file. Port number and view resolver we need to configure. So server dot port is equal to 9090. Server port is equal to 9090. Configure view resolver. Spring dot MVC dot view dot prefix is equal to /views. Spring dot MVC dot view dot suffix is equal to .jsp. Port number we have configured, and view resolver also we have configured for our application. Now let's clean the project and run it. Maven, update the project, force update. Okay. Completed. Let's run it. Run as boot app. Okay, I think in the web app I have forgot to create the views folder, sir. New folder, views. Inside the views, I need to keep this JSPs. External views I'm going to delete. Okay, now let me restart my project. By mistake, I have created them outside. Yeah, run as boot app. Yes, application started. Let's access that load form method. Localhost colon 9090 / load form. Whiteable error page. 9090 load form URL incorrect. Localhost colon 9090 / load form. Yes, we are able to load the form. It is a normal HTML form that we have developed. Okay, now enter the data 101, username, some phone number. Okay, now clear our console, clear the console. Now submit the form, save user. User saved successfully. Then we have a hyperlink, add new user. Now go to the console. Two values are coming properly. Phone number is coming as null value. Check it. What is the problem? User controller, we are trying to capture that as UPHN. Okay. Now in the JSP, see what is the name I have given for that field. In the JSP, I have given it as phone number. That is incorrect. Okay. UPHN. That is the name that I should give for this field. Good. I have corrected that. Clear the console. Add new user. Now again, the form is displayed. Enter the data 102, some RAM, phone number. Click on save user. User saved successfully. Go to console. Now we are able to capture all the three fields values in our controller by using request.getParameter. By using request.getParameter, we are able to capture the form data and we are able to display success message in the another page, and we are able to display hyperlink also. When you click on the hyperlink, you will come back to the previous page. You can enter the data and you can submit it. Okay. Now, anybody having questions in this implementation? You can ask me now. Guys,
Sir, how hyperlink is working?
for the hyperlink, I have given action name na href. So if you see, I have given one hyperlink, add new user. So I'm giving href. So which action should be called when you click on the hyperlink I have given? The moment when you click on this hyperlink, what will happen? Load form action will be called. What is the load form? This is the method load form, which is returning index page. The index page contains a form where we can add the user data. It is a form where we can add the user data. Got it?
Sir, how much time is taking to come back to previous page?
How?
How much time is taking to come back to previous page? If you click that hyperlink that add new user.
Immediately it is coming, na?
Okay, that is the default time.
Huh.
Okay. Suppose you want to give some 2-second time, then
That you can manage it. You can need to stop the thread, or you need to write some sleep time, something like that. Why you want to keep 2 seconds to load the, generally in the web application, always we try to load the pages quickly. Why you want to load it lately?
no, just we want to know if you want to know,
You need
because
to,
in bank, no, in transaction time it is taking some time to process the
time
payment.
because there will be a number of database calls will be available. That's why it will take time. Currently in our application, there is no database call. That's why quickly it is loading. If I keep a database call, then it will take some time to execute that query, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you, sir.
Good.
Hi, sir. This is Vamshi.
Yeah.
Yeah, actually, I have one doubt, sir. When I am developing streams through JSPs in a Spring Boot, sir, which way we can go, sir?
I have developed now only, na? Same approach.
Same approach, no?
Huh.
Yeah, actually, Spring Boot we are using through RESTful also. We have some another way we are developing. So that is the process. This is the process.
Same process.
Okay, thank you.
Right. Now, guys, look at this. In our application, there is a problem. Okay. In our application, there is a problem. Observe my URL localhost / 9090/load form. 9090/load form. Okay. Now I'm entering my user data. click on save user. Observe the URL clearly. When I click on save user button, observe the URL clearly. Click on save user. What happened to the URL? Is it modified or not? Is it modified or
Yes,
not?
sir. Yes, sir.
User
Yes, sir, it's
data is modified.
modified.
User data is appended to URL. So it is
Yes, sir.
appended as a path parameter or it is appended as a query parameter.
Query parameter.
Parameter.
The
Query
data,
parameter.
whatever the form data that I am submitting, that form data appended to the URL as a query parameter. Now, my form may contain password also. Then password
Yes.
also will be exposed to the URL or not.
Yes, sir.
Yes.
It will be exposed to the URL. So, is it recommended approach to submit the form or it is not the recommended approach to submit the form?
Not recommended, sir.
It is not the recommended approach to submit the form. Why that form data is appending to the URL is because of GET request. So that form submit method is binded to what type of request, sir? It is binded to GET request. When you submit any form with GET request, then form data will be appended to the URL as a query parameter. So it is not at all recommended. Always you need to submit the form with post request. Able to understand? Always you need to submit the form with the post request. Now, so here I have given you a form action attribute, but did I specify with which request this form should be submitted? Whether it should be submitted with the GET request or it should be post request. Did I mention the data here? I have not. Then by default, it will consider this as a GET request, then form data will be appended to the URL. But now I don't want to expose my form data to the URL. I want to send my form data in the request body. That means secretly, without displaying the data in the browser, my data should go to the server. For that, we are going to use method is equal to post. What I'm trying to do here, sir? Method is equal to post. So what is the meaning of method is equal to post? This form data should go to the server in the request body, not in the URL. If I don't specify method is equal to post, by default, it comes under get method. So for the get method, data we can send only in the URL. So that's why I'm taking method is equal to post. If I am giving method is equal to post, this method should be binded to get mapping or it should be binded to post mapping. Come on. Controller method should be binded to
Post
get
mapping.
or control method should be binded to post mapping. It should be binded to post mapping. So instead of get mapping URL, we are going to give post mapping URL. Instead of get mapping URL, we need to give as a post mapping URL.
Mapping.
The data will come in the request body. Dev tools are available. Application will restart. Okay. Now, so add a new user. Now enter the data. Observe the URL. Click on save user. Data is appending to the URL or data is not appending to the URL. Data is not appending. Not appending. Data is going to the server or data is not going to the server. Guys, are we able to get the data to the controller or we are not able to get the data to the controller?
Yes,
We're
sir.
able to
You
get
can
the
get.
Yes, sir. We are getting the data.
Now, earlier also we are getting the data. Now also we are getting the data. But what is the difference?
Earlier it was displayed in the URL.
Earlier that form
Post is
submitted
secure.
with a get
Post mapping is
request.
secure.
Earlier that form submitted with a get request, the data appended to the URL as a query parameter. So security is not there. If the password is available, password also will be displayed to the URL. But now I have changed that from get request to post request. I have changed that from get request to post request. Now data sent to the server in the request body. Data sent to the server in the request body, not in the URL. So whenever you are submitting the form, make sure you will submit the form with the post request, not with the get request. Are you guys comfortable with this one?
Sir, can we do it through RESTful or MVC also?
Yes, you can do it. RESTful, forget about RESTful, sir. Forget about RESTful. Don't ask anything about RESTful now because I have not started RESTful. Now, if you have any question about this form-based application, that you can ask. Once I explain the RESTful, then you can ask questions related to that.
Sir, actually, you did some changes in JSP. We can do it by Java also.
What Java change you will do? This is form, this is a presentation logic. That's why I have changed it here. What change you will do in the Java?
Hiding URL.
Hiding the URL data, that URL rewriting that you need to do, sir.
Ashok, so initially we used one methodology, right? Now we are using another methodology to hide our data, right? So
Yes.
I want to see it. So how that data is coming from the UI to like controller?
For that, sir, you cannot see that data. The reason is, whenever you submit a form, HTTP request will be created by the browser. Okay. So HTTP request will be created by the browser. In that HTTP request body concept will be available. In that body, it is going to keep the data in the form of key value pair will send to the server. We cannot see that here. Browser will take care of that request body preparation. Browser is also a program, right? Whatever the data that you submit in the form, with that, browser will create a HTTP request, will send to the server. In that request, body will be available. In that body, our data will be available. Our data will go to the server. Once our data has been to the server, at server side, we are taking this request object and we are capturing the value. That means whatever the data that you send, that will be stored to this request object in the form of key value. Then if you know the key, then you can capture that value.
Okay, is it only body? I mean, whatever data we send, and other than that, browser details also we can get it from the request.
You can get the browser details also. So
Okay.
first of all, you should know all the keys which are available in the request. Okay. So here there are some more methods are, because if you know the key, you can get the value. Request dot get content type, context path, data header, header names, input stream, local header, local name, local port, method, parameter names. Here, if you get a parameter map, it will give you everything which is there in that request. Now, if you write system.out.println of parameter map, what all the parameters are available in the request object, you can get it by using parameter map.
Okay, sure.
Yeah, I'm submitting this form again. Clear the console. Then click on save user, submitted. Yeah, this is the parameter map that you are getting. Again, you need to iterate that map and you need to print the data. Okay, map key comma values are available. So instead of this, you want to know all the keys that are available. Request dot get parameter names. What are the names that are available in the request keys? All the keys that you want to know. Then you can take this. Get parameter names. Now add new user, 101, name, phone number. Now clear the console. Click on save user. Added successfully. This is a collection object we are getting. Enumeration. So do you know how to iterate a enumeration? While has more elements, then system.out.println of parameter names dot next element. Okay. Parameter names we are going to get from the enumeration we are trying to print on the console. What are the keys that are coming from the browser? Add new user, submit this form. Click on save user. So currently user ID username, user phone. These three values are available in request parameters. Those three values we are able to capture. UID is one parameter, uname is one parameter, uphone number is one parameter. These three values are coming in the request object. Okay. If you want to get any browser specific information, then you have direct methods request dot get character encoding, get a content length long, content type, context path, cookies. For everything, servlet mappings, header values, you can call the methods and you can get the data. Okay. If you know the key names, you can call directly get parameter of key. If you don't know the key names, you can use this approach to get the keys.
Okay.
Okay.
Hello, sir. Can
Yeah.
we use @request body annotation here, or there is no needed for
I will
that?
explain you that, sir. I will explain. First, I need to tell you this. Then I will tell you when to use @request body annotation.
Yes, sir.
First of all, are you comfortable with this?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Sir, basically, what is the difference of get and post mode?
We'll talk about that, sir. Within 2 minutes, I can't explain you that. I will take a class for that. I will explain you. What is get request? What is post request? When to go for get? When to go for post? I will explain. Yes, today's application code I am giving in the notepad. I want everybody to practice this before coming to tomorrow's session. Can you do the practice? Just a simple form application we developed to capture the form data
Yes, sir.
and how to deal with the hyperlink in the web application that we experimented in the today's session. Tomorrow, we are going to develop one more form-based application by using another approach. Tomorrow, we'll develop one more form-based application by using another approach. So before coming to tomorrow's session, please practice this example so that you will understand the tomorrow's class. Got it? All good. Right, guys?
One doubt. In
Please ask me.
in controller also you have mentioned post.
Your voice is very low, sir. Please speak loudly.
In controller,
Sir, while accepting the request, we can use @model attribute also, right?
Yes, you can use it. Slowly, I will cover that also, sir. First, step by step, we are going to learn the things.
Sir, hello.
Yeah.
Sir, in my system, sir, any server problem, sir. When I am running application, but is not responding, white label error anytime, sir.
URL
path.
Share your screen. Your name?
Mohit Jaswa.
Mohit, share your screen. Show that.
Yes.
Guys, look at this is error. Run it. Run the application.
Also controller class also.
Hello.
So why are you asking?
Sir, this time anytime.
I into the postman.
Controller.
Controller.
There is no message.
No message.
Where is your start class?
Naming conventions. Package naming.
Your package name is wrong.
Package name is wrong. Package naming convention is different.
No, message is not there in a get mapping.
Hold on, guys.
Into higher book.
Hold on. Is base package naming convention incorrect? You see that first one is com.example.demo, second one is com.tb.controller. So you
Yes.
need to follow the base
Yes,
package
sir.
convention, then only your controller class will be recognized. Okay, change that first package name to com.tb. Instead of com.example.demo, change it to com.tb. What you learnt in the boot, man? I explained so many times. What is base package naming convention? Change the first package name. First one, above one.
Com.example.
Rename that. Right click, refactor, rename com.tb. That is your base package. Okay. Continue. Now stop your application and start it. Because of your incorrect package name, boot is not able to recognize your controller class as a Spring Bean. Mohit, is it working? Good. Right, guys. Thank you. With this, I'm stopping for today. Tomorrow will continue. Please practice that example before coming to tomorrow's session. Otherwise, you will not understand tomorrow's class.